"I thought no one noticed, but I saw everything," said a production staff member who finally spoke up about the hidden moments between Jimin and Jungkook. What really happened behind BTS's spotlight? And why have Jikook's interactions become a hot topic among internal staff? In the entertainment world full of spotlight and high secrecy, not everything that happens backstage is visible to the public eye. However, recently, statements from several staff members who worked directly in BTS's production and activities have sparked a wave of speculation and intense discussion among ARMY and K-pop observers. It's not just a rumor, but direct confessions revealing an unusual interaction between two BTS members, Jimin and Jungkook. Known as Jikook, one staff member whose identity is withheld for professional reasons revealed that the working relationship between Jimin and Jungkook during rehearsals, photo shoots, and overseas trips showed a much deeper dynamic than what is displayed publicly. There were silent cues, glances understood without words, and moments where they seemed to be in a world of their own, the staff member disclosed. According to the same source, Jikook were often seen choosing to sit next to each other when off camera. During break moments while filming commercials or during intense rehearsals before concerts, Jungkook was seen a few times handing Jimin a drink or a towel without being asked, as if it had become a habit requiring no instruction. It wasn't just workplace politeness. Their interactions showed a level of emotional intimacy I rarely see among the other members, the source added. This phenomenon doesn't stop at one or two testimonies. Several other staff members involved in concert and music video productions reported similar observations. One stage crew member recounted a moment in the rehearsal room where Jimin looked exhausted and sat alone. Without many words, Jungkook approached, took off his earphones, and played a song they once performed together. No words, just the song and Jimin's smile. "I think only they understood the meaning behind it," the crew member said, although such interactions may seem trivial on the surface, when viewed in the context of BTS's tight schedules, international career pressures, and high public expectations. These small moments of care show how strong emotional bonds are formed behind the scenes. Many staff admitted that the Jikook relationship had become a kind of comfort zone amidst the chaos of the entertainment industry. However, it must be emphasized that these confessions do not automatically confirm a personal relationship beyond professionalism. On the contrary, they highlight how vital internal emotional support is in maintaining the mental health and work performance of a team as massive as BTS. Their interactions, whether small gestures or silent presence, became a unifying element under global pressure, said a senior production manager who has accompanied the group since the start of their world tours. What makes this dynamic even more intriguing is how the two almost never explicitly show intense closeness in front of the media. Compared to other members whose interactions are more open, Jimin and Jungkook appear to maintain a professional distance on screen. In front of the camera, they seem composed. But behind it, there's so much we, the crew, see but never speak of, said one video editor involved in BTS's variety show productions. The bigger question is, are these kinds of interactions part of an unintentional internal communication strategy, or is there indeed a personal closeness carefully guarded from public consumption? The staff do not have definitive answers. But one thing they all agree on, Jikook's interactions are something that can be felt, even when left unspoken. Discussions about Jikook are not new among fans. But direct statements from frontline staff have elevated this discourse. No longer just fan theory, it has become a subject of analysis on workplace dynamics, emotional balance, and solidarity within a group at the top of the global entertainment industry. Of course, some question the ethics behind these revelations. Some say that staff testimonies could violate the members' privacy. But others see this as an honest depiction of how human relationships remain a crucial factor even in a global entertainment industry full of image and expectations. BTS, with all their international achievements, are still a team made up of humans with emotional needs, fatigue, and complex interpersonal relationships. The Jikook interactions, as witnessed by the staff, are just one of many layers not necessarily visible to the public. But for those who saw them firsthand, they are proof that behind the grand performances, there are small stories that carry deeper meaning, and perhaps that's the essence of it all. Behind the untold scenes lies a hidden interaction that forms the invisible foundation of BTS's success. An interaction that doesn't need to be displayed, but simply felt and quietly becomes an inspiration. We need to remember that the information we receive every day does not always come with certainty. This article indeed presents an interesting story, even one that sparks the curiosity of many about the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook, two BTS members known to be very close. But do we truly know what's happening behind the scenes? Or is this merely a media fabrication designed to capture public attention? After reading the confessions from staff who revealed these secret moments, we must ask ourselves, is this fact or just a story constructed for sensational purposes? News about close relationships between two K-pop idols often becomes a hot topic. But should we accept this story so easily without checking its validity? The information we present comes from various sources, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other media platforms that can be difficult to verify for authenticity. This is the main challenge for us as readers and fans. How do we approach such news with a more critical and reflective attitude? Too often, we see how news can spread easily without any clear confirmation or verification from the relevant parties. In this digital age, we can easily get swept up in the flood of information that comes so fast, yet is often misleading. We must remember that every piece of information we receive cannot always be trusted immediately, especially if the source is unclear or comes from platforms that may be influenced by bias or certain agendas. If we return to the case of Jikook, the question is whether the staff giving these interviews really have enough credibility. Are they truly in a position to give us an accurate picture of Jimin and Jungkook's interactions? Or are they also trapped in the media's game of sensationalism? We need to dig deeper. Does this story really come from a legitimate source? Or is it just a fabrication meant to attract attention and increase clicks and traffic on social media? Keep in mind, many media outlets try to grab attention with dramatic headlines or information that leans towards sensationalism without considering factual accuracy. Now, let us ask ourselves, are we truly ready to believe this event is real? Or are we just caught in the trap of news designed to shock us? Of course, these stories touch our emotional side as fans, especially with the bond that seems so close between these two idols. But we must dare to ask, is this an honest depiction of BTS, or just a narrative built to generate sensation and attract more attention? We also need to think critically about how such information can spread so widely through social media platforms. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter have become major sources of information for many people, but the content shared there often lacks a strong foundation or verifiable credibility. In this world of instant information, we need to be cautious about what we believe. Do we truly know that the sources we rely on have been verified? Or are we simply following the flow without ever pausing to ask deeper questions about the truth behind the story? When evaluating the information we receive, it's crucial to remember that news isn't always about pure facts. Sometimes, news is constructed to stir emotion or trigger certain reactions from readers. This is where our role as information consumers becomes extremely important. We must be able to filter and select information wisely, using critical thinking to determine whether what we read is based on facts or just an attempt to exploit our emotions. IT is also important to highlight the phenomenon occurring in today's social media landscape.